Welcome to Everyway Woman. So I'd like to start with a little game I call Shame or Fame. Ready, ladies?
Ready.
Let me break it down to you. Here's the story. Couple, together 3 years, get married. She decides she wants to have a baby. There's trouble with fertility. They now have to invest in further treatments. She's fertile. He is not, just to be clear. Now, in this, she finds out that he's $150,000 in debt. Surprise, she did not know. Immediately files for divorce. Shame or fame?
Fame.
Shame.
Fame.
Shame. Look at me, ladies in the audience. Shame.
Fame.
Shame on her for not doing her research. They were together 3 years before they got married. Shame on her. Shame on her for leaving her man when he needed her. Okay, times were difficult, but she left him. Shame, shame, shame.
Okay, wait.
No, fame. Okay, yes, still
Why?
together for 3 years. However, maybe that was not information that he disclosed to her. Now, if you give out information, you're like, oh, this is what you do, then you might think, yeah, the other person does that too. What is she then going to do?
He didn't lie about
go
it.
in and get,
He didn't lie about it. He was just a little hush-hush.
She didn't ask
Right.
the right questions. As women, we gotta ask the right question. We ask all kind of questions.
Yeah,
but we
Amanda-
really don't.
Amanda-
So in a relationship, we don't ask questions.
Yeah, except
Seriously?
for this. I knew someone who had met someone and married someone whose parents had made their car payments for the first year and a half, 2 years of their marriage and didn't even know about it.
Okay.
Okay, so how was that? How was
Okay.
she not to know
But,
that he had made those? Who was making those car
in
payments?
her defense, and as a single woman, I want to know, ladies, how much do you have to disclose about your finances? I mean,
Everything.
do I have to air all my dirty Visa
Absolutely.
bills?
You
Because I
absolutely
want
have to air debt.
You have to air, absolutely. And
Yeah.
if my mate doesn't air it, and my excuse, I still have to ask the questions. Babe, love you. You're fine as ever. But how much money we gonna be in debt? Because it's our debt.
Yeah.
Because he didn't tell me, and
And
I didn't
maybe
ask.
he-
I just leave him.
But maybe he didn't tell her. Maybe she might have asked him. We don't know if she asked those questions and he didn't tell her.
Okay, so are you
Maybe
concerned
they
that
were-
one lie can lead to another lie?
Absolutely.
That's
That's a little lie. That's not even a little lie.
No, but that's a very solid point, Stacey, that if he's not being honest about his finances, what else is he hiding?
But we don't know that he just didn't say anything and she didn't ask.
Well, okay,
What did he spend his money on?
hypothetically.
What did he spend his money on?
Frivolous things. We're talking
Okay.
watches, glasses,
irrelevant, ladies.
No, it's absolutely relevant.
No, it's
Yes, it is, because he spent his money on crap. He didn't even go in debt to buy a house.
Madison, if he spent it on a stripper or if he spent it on buying her
Oh.
a ring, it's irrelevant. The problem is at a difficult time in their relationship, she bailed out. And
But
that's
he-
a
but
shame.
so
her
here's my
relationship
thing.
wasn't real.
Here's my thing.
That's
Okay,
the thing.
so-
It wasn't even real to begin with.
In my opinion, it's a little bit of both, okay? Typical Gemini, me. I'm saying a little shame, a little fame. So,
Why is it shame and fame? Let me hear this.
in my opinion, good for her for standing up for herself. However,
Standing up for herself.
shame in the fact that maybe there was a few other alternative steps in the meantime before divorce to, maybe therapy or let's
really
create a budget
he bought
together.
He bought some watches and took himself to McDonald's.
Maybe it was a few
$150,000
presents for her.
worth. And they're gonna therapy.
Wait,
no
wait,
way.
hold on.
I just don't
no
know.
way.
How did she stand up for herself by leaving her marriage when
Because-
some information came that she
because-
didn't like?
Well, she didn't want to waste any more time. She was ready to have a baby, to start a family. He was not able to do that, not only financially, but physically. So she moved on to find a different
being
man.
in debt is not a reason not to have kids. I mean, life
Right.
happens. You want to have a family committed to it. That's great. But really, what it is the man was a liar. He lied to her, and not getting full disclosure about your debt and about the way that you spend your money and what you spend it on. Now, if he had said he was $150,000 in debt because he had bought a house, yeah, shame on her.
Okay.
But it wasn't for a house. It
Well,
was
but
for frivolous things.
here's the thing. In his defense, maybe he was afraid to say that to her. And
Then
I
they
would
didn't
be,
have a real relationship.
but I'm
then-
nervous.
They were together for 3 years and dated.
Okay, so how do you have that conversation, Stacey?
Well, then what are you doing with the
When-
3
how did
years
you
that
know-
were
how
Okay,
did
here's the
you
thing.
have the
Here's Stacey.
conversation?
Hey, baby, I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna take you out to dinner. This is $200. This is $500. This is, and she's thinking everything's okay. My man is taking care of me.
She's
I'm
assuming.
in a good place. I feel good about where we are. And then she finds out, oh my gosh, those $200-300 dinners that we could have done without to be $150,000.
Now I can't have a
Ladies,
baby.
Ladies, a man, or not even say, a person can only keep up a farce for so long.
Right.
We're dismissing, they were together 3 years.
Okay, but
I'm
go
not
back
saying
to my
that he was
question,
right,
Stacey.
If he spent-
but
he was
she
over budget $50,000
also
a year.
did not pay attention. I'm
Okay,
not saying
so she didn't pay attention.
attention.
No, but let's discuss the conversation she should have had with him. How do you broach that with your man? How do you look at someone you trust who's assuming financial responsibility
Yes.
and say,
Yes.
I question you, baby.
No.
Like, how,
no.
tell me about your
No,
finances.
here's the conversation. Babe, are you marry me? Yes. Okay, before we get married, we need to talk about some things. 1, we need to talk about our debt. 2, we need to talk about your credit, our credit. 3, we need to talk about some HIV tests. You got to talk about
Yes,
all
I
things.
agree. I absolutely agree.
Yes.
I do.
You just can't say, oh, you're so fine, I
That-
love you. Let's go to the altar.
I agree.
That's what I want to do.
Really? It's not
okay?
like that?
I would like it a little more easy than to have the interview my husband.
Okay, then you
Okay.
will be at the Waller.
Yeah,
Shame to
yes,
leave
you
it
will
at
be
the
there
altar.
too. You will be there too.
More with Every Way Woman when we come back. Stay tuned.
That works. Let's just go.